woman dragged the man's corpse through the desert, but accidentally stepped on a mechanism leading to hell. A sinister and terrifying building suddenly rose from underground. This turned out to be a pawn shop in hell. Before she could even react, countless wandering ghosts had already grabbed the man's corpse, wanting to drag him into the depths of hell. The woman desperately drove away these evil spirits. At this moment, a messenger from hell suddenly appeared. The woman immediately knelt and begged, willing to use her remaining lifespan in exchange for a chance for the man to be reborn. The messenger agreed to her request. On the spot, he drained all her life force as the contract was completed. Her soul was sealed in 7 bells. Each bell represented 1 day of life, allowing her to return to the mortal world to fulfill her wishes. After 7 days, her soul would scatter. With the woman's help, the man not only miraculously came back to life, but also successfully quelled the war and returned in triumph. Hearing the good news, the woman was overjoyed. She hurried to the door to welcome him, but discovered the man was immediately sitting with another woman. The woman didn't understand why the man would marry someone he just met. The man actually said it was this woman who saved him in the desert. The woman quickly explained it was clearly herself who saved him, but the man didn't believe a weak woman like her had the ability to save someone. Instead, he felt she was slandering his fiancé. So in his anger, the man raised his whip and viciously lashed the woman. At this moment, the woman's heart completely shattered. The person who had once promised to protect her for life now treated her so heartlessly. In the end, under the man's continuous whipping, the woman fainted in grief and despair. The next day, the woman wanted to go out for some fresh air, but the scheming woman deliberately provoked her. The woman wanted to avoid her, but the other party blocked her path. Then she even took out the love token jade pendant the woman had given the man, wanting to return it to her. The two argued, and the jade pendant was smashed. Some fragments fell into the brazier. At this time, seeing the man approaching, the scheming woman immediately pretended to be pushed down, then instead falsely accused the woman of pushing her. The man didn't distinguish right from wrong, and ordered the woman to retrieve the jade pendant from the brazier, thinking back to the year the man had saved her from raging flames. But now, for someone else's sake, he was pushing her into a sea of fire once more. The woman, her heart dead as ashes, endured the sharp pain and took out the jade pendant. At this moment, the man suddenly discovered the scars on her arm were exactly the same as his own. The scheming woman sensed things were taking a bad turn and immediately feigned illness. The blind man immediately carried her and turned to live. Little did he know those scars on the woman were the proof of her exchanging her life for his. Now the woman only had 3 days of life left. In order to not implicate her family, she cremated her own body in advance, planning to be buried under the peach blossom tree the man had planted. But when passing by the man's room, she unintentionally overheard the man was going to send her to the palace. The woman completely despaired and turned to leave, but the man, noticing the movement, immediately rushed out to stop her. She mustered her courage and asked the man if he had ever liked her in these 10 years. But what she got in return was a slap from the man. The man warned her not to have delusional thoughts. At this time, the man noticed the box in her hands. The woman was just about to explain it was her ashes, but was slandered by the scheming woman, saying she wanted to curse them. So the man snatched the box and threw it out viciously. The instant the ashes scattered, the woman's soul also began to dissipate, in the end completely vanishing. Only then did the man understand the truth, but unfortunately it was all too late.